And we welcome you back. And today, of course, was 33 Day here at Camden Yards, the unveiling of that great sculpture of Eddie Murray in the area. And Eddie, good enough to come back up and join us again after a long day at the ballpark. Probably exhausting, but you're never going to forget it, are you?
No, I'm not going to forget it. It was really a great day. One day I keep saying I'm going to be able to get by Cal Sr., saying his name without, having all them feelings and Elrod, but maybe I won't.
No, why do it?
Yeah.
It's more fun to have the emotions, I think. Certainly
I miss my boy Lee May coming here.
Yeah, well,
that was clear.
I guess he has a health issue. Certainly wish him well, because I wanted to hear what he had to say about you.
It would have been a roast of Ed.
What's the highlight? What's the highlight of the day without having a chance to really reflect too much on it?
It meant something for Ozzie to be here for me. We've been playing together since I was 9. He was 10, and to graduate together. It was just so many things as we played basketball on the same team. So it was just nice to see both of us, contribute to the game of baseball what we have, but to have him to take time out of his day and to come was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then of course your family was here. I know you got many brothers and sisters, and you're talking about your brother. A little tough love there.
It was tough love, but it was all love. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was a thing where they really taught you to compete, and I think what my eyes ended up seeing from having to play with them all the time, they weren't going to let you win. So, I just think it gave me an edge in life to run into something like that.
You had an edge?
Well, if you were going to tip a pitch, I was going to see it.
No, I know. Well, no doubt about that.
I thought it was interesting. You talked without being asked about the chant here and how that Eddie chant developed and actually had an impact on you for a while before you get used to it.
Well, yeah, you had to turn that into a positive, but I tell you, for about 20 at-bats, it was really loud. It was disturbing up there. Your thought process was being rattled. Next thing you know, you were able to try and get it down to a whisper.
Yeah.
Then from there, I turned it on to the pitcher and said, well, it's probably bothering him more just bothering me. So, I have the advantage.
And it was loud and clear today, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. This is awesome how many people stayed around during that big rainstorm.
Well, I ran into Peter Schmuck, who writes for the Baltimore Sun. He said that the night you hit your 500 home run, there was a rain delay. It didn't start till about 10 o'clock that night. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. That was. I just did get it under the 12 o'clock hour there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That day, walking on the field, we running our sprints just before the game, and I tell Cal, I look over at him. We won our first one. I told him, he says, I'm going deep today. I feel it. And he said, well, why? I said, nobody's talked to me today. So I started to run the second one, the third one, and they showed 21-31 up on the board.
Oh, wow.
And he turns and looks at me. He turned and looks at me and goes, yeah, you already said you're going deep. But then to get it under that 12 o'clock hour was pretty cool. And it was just a little special something with me and him.
And we were just showing the seat. That seat you saw is the seat where the ball landed on that 500th home run here. There it is right there, the special colored seat, the orange one that has been marked and will be marked forever. What was it like when you got done? When there weren't going to be any more days on the field, what was that like for you, and how did you make the adjustment to go from the player to a coach? You're helping people. You're obviously still around the game, but what was that like for you?
As a player, I knew I was done. I mean, I tore this tendon here in my wrist, and I tell you, I'd never throw the bat. And this bat's sitting out there just short of the mound. And actually, we were playing the Orioles in Anaheim. And I go out to pick it up. I said, I never throw the bat. I'm talking to myself. No. I pick it up, turn around, and the bat's still laying there. Now I know it's something wrong with my wrist. So I'm walking back, and I'm thinking about how many swings I just have made since I was 5 years old. Yeah. And it was like, I guess that's enough. Yeah. You know what would have really been great for me? If we'd have been playing anybody else but the Orioles, I would have hit a one-handed double down the line. Cal knows when I get 2 strikes, he just walked over the third base line, and all I had was one hand. And I hit a ball down the line, he catches it, and I'm just going, that would have been cool. I could have walked.
Well, that probably made it easier. When you know you're done and there aren't any questions left, then you just move on, huh?
Right. And being a coach, I tell you, I thought I would take a couple of years off, but then it got to a point where you said, no, I don't need that. Let me go ahead and do it. And you kind of enjoyed it, but you wanted more on your plate, and it's amazing that sometimes when you know what's going to happen and you're trying to explain, I've been there. Please listen to me. It's going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not really, you know, they don't really believe it.
Yeah.
I got chills today when I'm hearing all the numbers. 399 with the bases loaded. I know the 500 home runs and 3,000 hits and all that, but did you ever think you were going to do that much?
No, I never dreamed of those numbers of that size. But I tell you, one person that really did the whole time was Charles Steinberg.
Really?
Charles Steinberg was, I'm approaching hit number 27, and he'll say something. You know, you're going to get this. He picked out numbers of 3,000 hits to 500 home runs. And I'm looking at him like, you're crazy. You know, and then to get there, you can't help but to think of him, you know. Yeah. Those numbers he was rattling off out there, that's not on pencil. I mean, it's not on paper. He's got that stuff on his head for some reason.
He likes you. Eddie, it's been a very long day for you. We really greatly appreciate you taking the time to stay here even later and come join us.